Regardless if it's in a bottle or can, I'm reviewing a beer today, guys. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews, BC's Beer Reviews, BC's Beer Reviews, BC's Beer Reviews. Well, it's another episode of BC's Beer Reviews with your boy BC. Well, this one, I can't remember if I've done this one or not. But if I haven't, I'm doing it today. And, man, if I haven't done it, what took me so long to do this one, man? I don't know. But, either way, if I have or haven't, I'm glad I'm doing this review on this beer today. I really am. And, well, let's get into it. I'll start explaining everything once we start getting into what we got here. And what we got here today is another beer to actually drink. And I've actually drank this many, many times. Actually, this was the first ice beer that I've ever had in my entire life. I can't wait. And you know what today's beer is? I'll tell you. It's Molson Ice. That's right. Bam. That's right. That's what I'm doing today, guys. I'm doing Molson Ice. So if I've done it, this is a re-review. If not, this is the first time I'm doing it on the show. And, oh my God, I've got so many fond memories of drinking this beer. And, oh my God, this was the first ice beer that I've ever had in my entire life. Now, many of you guys that watch this show enough times to know that my go-to beer is Milwaukee's Best Ice. But, I don't think Milwaukee's Best Ice would have had a chance of being one of my favorite beers if it wasn't for this beer right here. That's right, I said it. I'm putting it out there. I drank so many of these beers, it's unbelievable. I enjoyed this one, I really did. And I forgot that it was a 5.6 APV. Now, I've looked, and I couldn't find what the IBUs are on this. So I've checked a couple of places, Untapped, Beer Advocate. I've even looked up at the Molson Canadian site. I couldn't figure out what the IBUs were on this one. So this one's a 5.6 ABV. And ice beers, for those that are just now turning in and seeing this for the first time, that don't know, but it's part of the fermentation process, okay? Now, some would call this an adjunct lager. I just call it an ice lager because it's an ice beer and it's a lager. And, they brew this. It's slow. It's a tedious process from what I understand. And what they do is like most ice beers, is they'll fermentate it or go through the fermentation process. They'll bring it down the temperature and they'll kind of freeze it. And whatever's on top and frozen, that's basically water, okay? And they pull that out and they take the rest and bottle it, and this is what we got. And this goes for any other beer out there that is an ice beer. So, it's supposed to make it a lot smoother when they do it this way. Okay, fine. Now, I've had some ice beers that weren't so smooth. So, today is another one where we're going to put that to the test. And, I'm going to try to be unbiased as possible for as much as I love this beer. I mean, at this time, when I was drinking Molson Ice, I was trying this Zima, you name it, I was basically drinking it. And a lot of it was what I call the middle of the road beers. You got this, you got Budweiser, you got Pabst, you got Miller, you name it, I was drinking it at that time, back then. And this is going back, what, 28 years ago when I was doing all this. So, hey, it's nice to revisit some beers of the past, even though I might not have video documentation of it, but here's video documentation of it now. So, looks nice. Premium ice beer. Yep. So it's in English and French. Makes sense since it's a Canadian beer. Yes, they do have a tendency of brewing this in Canada still. And they got bought out, if memory serves me right, in 2005 by Coors. So it's a Molson Coors product. Okay. And Molson is the biggest beer company in Canada ever. You know, you can't get bigger than Molson in Canada. It'd be like saying Budweiser in America. You can't get bigger than Budweiser in America. So, it's just one of them things. So, I mean, I like the label. It's got the red leaf, Molson Ice. To me, I know it's Canadian. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me, as you guys can tell. You guys know I'm from Michigan, so I know this is a Canadian beer, which I love. I've got no problem with Canadian beers. I've had several on my show. I like to have several more on my show if I can. And, well, I'm dying to see what this bad boy tastes like again, man, for real. So, again, it's a 5.6 ABV. It's a lager, ice lager at that. Somewhere I've seen where they would call it an adjunct lager. I don't know about all that now. I'm not going to go that far. But more power to the ones that do, though. And I already got the top popped. And looks nice, looks good. And the thing that I've noticed, these used to come out in green bottles. Now they're in brown bottles. Anybody know why that is? Why they're in brown bottles now? They used to be in green bottles. They really did. But the reason why they're not in green bottles now is like when you get Heineken. You get a Heineken, it's a green bottle, okay? And you get a strange chemical reaction when you have green bottles of beer and sunlight, okay? Now, anybody that's had Heineken and it's sat in the sun for a minute, you're going to get a funky smell coming from the beer, okay, because of the green bottle. Now, if you get a clear bottle, now it's going to make it even worse, which is why a lot of beer companies come at you with brown bottles when they ship their beers out. So you don't have that skankiness in the smell or any off tastes when you go to drink the beer. I mean, I don't know why they would choose green bottles. I have no idea. Maybe it's a cost-cutting thing. I don't know. But, you know, if I was making beer, I would want the beer to be as good and great as it possibly can for my fans to drink. And, you know, they must sell a lot of these beers for that not to happen. Because I can distinctly remember not getting that funky smell or funky taste out of it back in the day. So, here we are with the new bottle. And it's looking good. And it's looking clear, just like a lager. Look at that. Oh my God. This look. Oh my God. This look is so nice. And this is kind of a medium to high range bubble carbonation rate on here. Now, as far as the head goes, I'm getting about a finger and a half worth of head on here. Okay. Now, this is as clear as day, as you can see. Now, as you can see me through that glass just fine. You know, besides the yellowish tint. But then again, hey, that's what the beer looks like. Okay. It looks awesome. Head looks awesome. Sponge light white color. Got a golden color like a lager. Medium to high range on the bubble formation or carbonation. Either way. I mean, it's just looking awesome right now. It really is. Just like I remember back in the day, it looks awesome. Okay. Now, the smell. Oh, the aroma, you're getting that sweetness from what it seems like the corn. Or as I like to call it, the brewer's solution, which helps in the fermentation process, but you guys know that already. And I'm getting some malts, I'm getting hops. I mean, for the most part, I don't want to say it's a simple beer, but it's simplistic in its brewing process to the point where it's almost fail-safe. They have a good beer by these guys. It really is. I mean, it truly is. Now, they say when they do the ice process, it's supposed to make it smoother in taste, okay? Now, I know some of them, like, I don't know. Okay, still reserves not the ice beer, but never mind that. But I've had a couple of ice beers that weren't so smooth. So, well, but I don't know. Anyways, back to this beer. I'm going to try to be unbiased as possible with this beer, even though it's been quite some time since I've had this beer. So it's nice to revisit this beer, and good to film it on here. So, hey, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's see how this bad boy tastes. Nice, nice. Now, I'm getting this sweetness straight away from the corn, okay, or the brewer's solution, okay. And like I said, that help with the fermentation. They give it the ABV that it does, okay, and which is awesome. And yeah, I mean, this one for me is going down smooth. It really is going down smooth. I mean, comparing it to Milwaukee's Best Ice, Milwaukee's Best Ice is a bit rough compared to this. So, I mean, but then again, it's not that rough. But with the price point, I forget how much I paid. I think it was like $10.99 for a 6-pack. But then again, I could get a 30-pack of Milwaukee's Best Ice for, what is it, $18.58 for a 30-pack, and there's a 5.9 ABV. I mean, I'm all for saving money on beer, drinking it, and whatnot. But sometimes you gotta go with something that you know that's good. I mean, you guys know me. I love Milwaukee's Best Ice. But this one's where it's at. So, yeah. Yeah. This is actually, I hate to say it, but far superior than Milwaukee's Best Ice. Now, as far as the grade goes, I know I gave Milwaukee's Best Ice a 10. So I wish I could go Spinal Tap on this one. And for those that's never seen the movie Spinal Tap, what I'm referring to is he has a speaker. Most amplifiers or speakers go up to 10. Now in Spinal Tap, one of the guitarists has an amplifier that goes up to 11. Now, I wish I could go 11 with this, but I'm working with the 10 system, so this one's getting a 10 out of me right now, and it deserves a 10. It really does. It's that good of a beer. It really does. Yeah, I'm sticking by that. It's a 10. It's a 10. I mean, it's a good, solid, smooth ice beer. Even though it's a 5.9, it's still a good beer. I mean, Canadians know how to make beer. I mean, I've had Labatt Blue, this, Moosehead, a bunch of other ones. And they're really good. They are really good at making beer. So, hey, if you ever get a chance to pick up a 6-pack of this, give it a shot. I mean, this is one of them better ice beers out there. And it might not say it on the label, but I'm throwing it out there. But I would say this is a premium ice beer, man, for real. I thoroughly enjoy this. I mean, this should be like up there among the greats as far as ice beer goes, you know. So, well, enough with that. And I've got to say, hey, drink responsibly. Don't do nothing stupid. Peace out, brother man. Peace out, sister girl. And I'll check you out next time here on the next BC's Beer Reviews.